Hi family, I hope you're good. I hope you're blessed and happy. Welcome back to my channel. It's your sister Portia Mohau again. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for joining the family and for support. Yeah, let's get into it. I'm sorry, I really have to apologize for my video. The mode that I'm using, the device that I'm using to record this video, but we cannot wait until, let's say, I buy all the equipment for my home studio. That's gonna waste time and the message is not gonna get through. The most important thing about any content that you create, it's about reaching out the people that you vision to reach. On my last episode, it was more about my marriage, but I'd like you to know, friends and family, that it was just an iceberg, a tip of an iceberg. As we continue with other episodes, you will see my ex-husband was still part of my life. Okay, today's episode is the beginning of hell. Where did it all start? How did it all start? As I told you that I was a child with I was a child with a confusing childhood, if you to put it. Some other people would even think that things like that didn't exist. They did in my life, and I'm here telling my story. This is how it happened. I'd gone to my ex-husband for a weekend. I was at home, then I went to our place for a weekend, and then let's leave the dreams. Let's leave everything that tormented me, because I had this one specific dream. Of all the dreams that I usually had, one tormented me so much deep down until adulthood. I was this person that was always tormented by a dream. I was either walking in a sea, like either in a sea on top, but I was not really walking on water. I was always surrounded by a huge snake, and that snake would be so full in the water in order for me to step on it. But I always consciously knew that what I'm walking on top of is not something that I should be walking or on top of in my dreams. I was always conscious. I would be walking on top of this water with this snake underneath the water, but its back, the back of the snake was just on top. And then I would opt to walk on top of leaves, because there were leaves that were laid either on the sea, on the river, wherever, because the dream always came and I was either on the sea or on a river. But there are two distinctive differences in these dreams. On the sea, the water is clear and clean. But on the river, the dream comes with the river, the river is usually dark, very, very dark and scary. I would still walk on top of this thing, but subconsciously in my dream, I would run and opt for the leaves. And every time I jump, I would get to the leaves and the grass and try to run away. Every time I tried to run away, the snake would just swiftly get to me, and I have to start the running. That dream gave me, I don't want to lie, I always felt so scared after that dream. I was that dreamy person. I was that person who spoke to voices that I didn't know. I was that person. But now let's go to how it all starts. I went to my ex-husband. That particular day, I was waiting. My ex-husband had gone to buy some car parts, I think, and he was with friends, and I was at our place. I remember sitting on our couch. As I was sitting on a couch, all I remember is I saw my mother and she slapped me. That's all I remember. My ex-husband came. Apparently, he found me unconscious, took me straight to the doctor with his uncle and friends. And he tells me that when he arrived at the doctor was like, no, that's a hospital case. They took me to hospital. I think they took me to Baragwanath Hospital. And when they took me there to Baragwanath Hospital, I was being checked. I was unconscious, of course. I don't know whether I was unconscious for a day, 2 days. I don't remember all that. All I know is my family told me with my ex-husband that you woke up and you requested for a form called RTF. You know, it's like I woke up and I already knew everything about the medical sector. I told them that I don't want to be here. I need to fill a certain form called RTF. RTF is something that I later knew more about when I actually ended up doing some practicals for a certain learnership at Leratong Hospital. So I ended up knowing what an RTF is. RTF is a refusal of treatment. That was, for me, that was absurd, because I've never heard of such a thing. And here I am, I wake up, I know this thing. So my ex-husband filled the form, because as my husband, my family, they need to also affirm what I'm saying, that I want to leave. So my family said they took me away. They took me home. My sister says when I went home, on the way, as my husband was driving, apparently I was sleepy while talking, you know. I was saying things that they didn't know. I was speaking a language that they didn't understand. And I was telling them that I'm supposed to go to a place. My sister said I was sleeping on the floor. I didn't want to sleep on the bed. She kept asking me to sleep on the bed. All I wanted was to sleep on the floor. And then apparently I requested them to inform the family that I am leaving. And I requested something like, I think, chibuku, you know, that sogambia that you buy. I requested that apparently to inform my ancestors that now I am living. One of the things that I was told that also I had to know and find out myself is what was all that was my family says it was like I was in a trance and I was arguing with these people that I don't want to go there. But I kept crying and talking that this and that shouldn't happen, I will go. Then I submitted, apparently after hours of being like that. So I told my husband or my family to take me to a place. There's a certain lady waiting for me. Another thing that I want you to in everything that I'll be saying, my friend, there are things that you need to highlight in this journey. This is one of them. I told them I'm going to a certain place. A lady is waiting for me. And they tell me that I was actually sleeping in the car while they were driving, but I was giving them directions. When we arrived at the place, my ex-husband says, the lady, my gobela, my principal, was standing outside, I don't know, with her husband and other trainees. And when they saw me, this is what she said. This is the mad woman I've been waiting for. This is the woman I told you is coming. So I went in. And as you know, you cannot just go in. You know, people go IPHEHLO, people go to initiation schools in different ways. Others go out of their mind. Like me, I don't remember anything. I only remember what happened next. Then my family took me in. Apparently 7 people. Also remember this, 7 people had to confirm that whatever it was that brought me there was ancestors. Because she, the gobela, saw me and said, yes, this is her that I've been waiting for. And then I had trainees, banglole, you know, they must look at me, prophesy, and see what was my problem. To my family, to my ex-husband who knows nothing about these things, all they wanted was help for me. So I am here. I've directed them to this place, and it's like for them, I'm not in my senses. I'm still in the spirit. I'm still in that realm that they are not there. It was confirmed. I was left behind. For me, the days I stayed there from the beginning was, I didn't understand what was happening to me. I remember one lady, as we were working, because I was welcome to the family and I was given, everybody has a house cure that you do. You are given a duty to do. So as I was doing my duties, one of them was actually training me on which duties I'll be doing. And then one of them, I don't remember the lady's name, called me and said, Nyamatani. You know, I think it was 2 weeks down, and she's calling me Nyamatani, and I'm like confused. Who's Nyamatani now? And she's like, no, you Nyamatani. When you go IPHEHLO, there are certain rituals that are done to welcome you. You know, we are big kwa edlozini. It's like they must, the ancestors, the spirit of that let's call it a school. The spirit of that school must know you, must welcome you. You know, you are introduced formally to them, and yours as well must communicate with the owners of that home in order for you to be known as a child that is being born into that home. Now, apparently, as they were training, you know, training in initiation school goes you know, you know, traditional dancing, ancestral dancing, the rhythm of you and your ancestors, the spirit coming out, you know, the dance on its own has its own reason of why you do it. I will not tell the story like I'm a former. Yes, I am. Thank God. But I want to relate to you, my friends, like I'm still there. When you are there, it's like you don't do it for the fun of it. You do it to make your spirit happy, to make your spirit grow, and to let the ground feel you, and the ground, you feel the ground, you connect with the ground. And you know, when Meukida, the incantations are not done by you, but by your spirit. And the incantations are done by the soil. So you need to understand what was happening there now. It was hard training. I don't even want to sit here and say, because I've left that life, I got a gobela, that, you know, because when you tell them that this is not the spirit from God, people will be like, no, the gobela that trained you was not from God. It's a scammer. No. Okay, if I'm to classify the gobela that trained me and speak like the person who's still there or doing that, this is what I want you to understand. The gobela that trained me is a gobela who knew what she was doing. The gobela who trained me was not, you know, usually she would say things like, you know, she was a joking person at times, but she's more serious than a joking person. She would even let you know, make you know that what she has, she did not buy it, you know, because they're scammers, you know. She was born for it, and she enjoyed it, and she loves it. So a person like that, when they train you, they don't train you to go and ruin their name. Number one, they will make sure that they work and they do their duties in full. I think I was her 300 and something, if not 430 something child. Like, she is known for training. She is known for raising true nyangas in the department. So the training started. For me, at first, I wanted to understand what's happening to me. I didn't get a gobela that would shy away or was trying to learn what she was doing. I got someone who knew what she was doing, because I went to ask her questions, because I will ask you questions. I will ask you questions. Nobody can just feed me of anything that I don't understand and I take it. I'm not like that. Be it those spirits, I would ask them questions. I went to her and I asked her a question. I understand my spirit, my ancestors say my name is Nyamatan. She said, yes, idlozi lakho liphumile. IPHEHLO, there's something they call ugajeka. Ugajeka is, you are pregnant. I'll make an example. When you are pregnant, you give birth to a child, right? But the child must be named in order to be identified, right? So anybody with the spirit, ati uyatwasa unedlozi, who has these spirits, has to be born and named to be identified. The spirit that is disturbing you and is in you must come out and speak and name itself. So you find that you are not only pregnant with one spirit, you are pregnant with, let's say, 10 spirits, but one becomes a leader, and that leader is the one. If it's let's say it's a balloon, the one that breaks, that spikes with a needle. You're like, you take a needle, that little thing with the needle, and it blasts, you know? Yeah, and that is the leader of your spirit. That one is the head that has been troubling you. So I wanted to understand with her, ma'am, by birth, I am Tswana. I'm not even Tswana wait there, I'm coming. No. When I say wait there, I'm coming, I mean mixed blood. My parents and their parents are mixed blood. I am not mixed blood. I am made of a Tswana mother and a Tswana father. So I want to understand how I, Tswana, can become Nyamatani. I could not just accept anything. I don't want to lie to you. They had to explain each and everything to me and make me understand. The goodness of this woman, she is a dictionary of what you want to know with regards to your training. She said, my child, unlike others, your name we did not call your name or ask your spirit to come out to tell us your name. We were training, drums were being beaten for other trainees to do. Because I'm new, I was sitting. Of course, they've dressed me in cloth, red cloth and white cloth. They also identify something. As a trainee, I'm a sangoma. I also need to fix this with a lot of people that are confused. A sangoma is somebody okalela bungoma. A sangoma is somebody okalela bungoma. A sangoma is not there's a nyanga. Koni nyanga. Koni sangoma. Isangoma isakalela bungoma. A trainee is a sangoma. Because a trainee is somebody who's still crying. That spirit is still crying for whatever they are coming out on the land of the living for. And they will be telling you what they want, why they are out, why they are crying. Because ubaya kala, they cry. They cry for the main reason why they come after you is because within your family, there was that spirit. Within your family, there is a bag of intlolo. What the bones, the back of those bones is the one that troubles people. Now, I want to understand, ma'am. I hear you. My spirit is not like the other ones. It didn't wait for you people to call it. It was ready to come out because bunyanga, abufani, people go there with spirits that will attack them now. And they go now. And there are people who will refuse this thing. They will continue to refuse it. They were born with it, like they are saying. They will continue to refuse. People like us who say, I'm not going there. For long it troubled me, I never went. But I went and it was ready to come out. So it didn't take long. The spirit didn't take long. He came out without wasting any time because he was eager to come out. That's why he was troubling my life. That's why he was troubling me. So he came out without them commissioning him to come, and lapuma lilos. Okay, now tell me, madam, my name is Portia. My Tswana name is my Tswana name. How am I Nyamatani? She looked at me and smiled and said, my child, go uyophahla. To speak to Upahla. This is what they do. Maybe Phahla, Thokozani bogogo. I'll be telling you more about that as well. Go uyophahla, ukhulume nabogogo. Talk to your spirits. Talk to your ancestors. Enter a certain spiritual realm. Communicate with them. They'll tell you about your name. I'm not going to stand here and lie and say, no, I did it perfectly. I'm such a good student. Teach me anything you want. I'll bring it out exactly as it is. I said, okay. I went. Remember, I've spoken to a tortoise when I was young. Now, here's the second thing. When I entered that house, I didn't understand. But when I started having a name, I was starting to see things. Every time I went, kona indawo yokushaya ibhuzu, a sacred place where we speak to our ancestors on certain times, especially 3 a.m. in the morning. Every time I went there, I saw a dog, a white dog. I looked at it for the first time. I went to sleep. At first, when I saw it, I was like, that's a ghost. Because it's when a dog sits, Jack Russell type, those type, there's this one of my favorite dogs. It looked like it. Let me be honest. The dog is a Samoyed. So to me, I looked at the dog. I was like, at first, I was like, is it a ghost? I left it. The second day I went, 3 a.m., I saw the dog. To me, this time, it was not a ghost. It was one of my ancestors protecting me in a place I was feeling uncomfortable. Because at first weeks, I was feeling very uncomfortable. I was looking at these people. They are so dirty. For me, I was even angry with these ancestors. I did not enjoy it. I remember one Gobela, student Gobela. Let me call them student Gobelas because they are my Gobelas children who graduated. They are finished. They've gone home. They come check on us, train us, help us. They help her do her work. They are now lecturers in a university. She looked at me and said, she looked at me and said, Nyamatan, you are so much of a loner. Don't be like that. Don't be too observant. If you are too observant, you're not going to finish here. I looked at her and said, I'm very observant and I'm not changing that about me. Because I used to sit and watch people, I wanted to understand, what are these people? What are they doing? What are they going to do to me? Am I going to become like that? Am I going? I even asked one lady that, are you saying I'm going to be like you? Because she was very dirty. One other thing that we need to take note of about the school where I come from. In her department and her journey, she's extremely good. She's not trying to modernize it like we see today. She's not even trying to trend like we see today. It's what she's doing that makes her who she is. But we are coming. First, second, third, fourth, everything, it came in order. Gradually, I was accepting who I am. When I realized who I am and accepted who I am, I was no longer myself. I was like one boy who was living in her own life, her own. I was a student. Everything about me had changed. Out of me, they wanted a bad heart. Because corner this thing, IPHEHLO ebizwa inkani. Inkani is stubbornness. If they even have a song that says inkani, at that training season, when you are still wearing a certain type of clothing, as a junior student, you are still crying for stubbornness. Inkani is like they are getting rid of your weakness in your heart. They are getting rid of your softness. I do not care how many people can come and try to make it nice. Those are probably those who trained and twisted in a modernized form. Those who eat dairy products, IPHEHLO, because IPHEHLO, you don't eat dairy products. My dear, you don't eat food that you are used to, because you have to remain, your body is like a sacred place for your spirits, for your ancestors. So they work on your heart. You know, I remember my Gobela looked at me and said, we have to get rid of the heart she has. They had to toughen me up. And when they did, that heart came out that they were looking for. Because I was a no-nonsense person. Like, I remember I was just this person that took no nonsense from nobody. There were incidents where I said, where I stood and wanted to, forgive me for this, to hit one of them, pay and leave. Because when you fight there, you have to pay a penalty. So I was ready to be penalized for one student, a student who treated others bad, a student who was rude, a student who thought was bossy, you know, a student we later became friends. At first, you know, people, we have our own differences. That very student as well had her own troubles, her own journey to walk. I had my own, and if you cross path, I don't want to be here, she doesn't want to be here, we're doing this thing, we're messing each other up. I was that student. So here is the training. They are showing me. See, this is muti bags. We take muti, we do this, you know, to, I don't know what they call that. We had to use, I don't know, I don't even know that in English. You have to grind that thing with your manually. We use the manual, you know, hard work. It was not easy. It was not easy. Waking up 3 o'clock every morning, you know, no more going to sleep. You go and eat the day after that, you have to clean, you have to know which herb is where, what have you done with it, learning them as well. And when they're patient, hey. Your Gobela cleanses you. You do not qualify to immediately go and consult people, you know, clients that come in. No, not with immediate effect. You have to be trained first. You have to be trained, or you have to be cleansed. You have to be purified for your spirits, for your pregnancy to sit well in your tummy. You know, you have to be in line with your spirits in order for your spirit to be the one that is able to see the troubles of anybody that comes. Here is the number one highlight. I had to know the bones, right? I don't know the bones. I've never seen them. I don't know how they look like. They are bones. There are different herbs. Well, I don't want to lie. I went there knowing herbs because my grandmother is from a generation of Bushmen from Kalahari, you know. So I grew up with my grandmother who knew herbs. So some herbs I know them, and then I'm there to learn more. Now she has the students a lot. There were a lot of people. I think there were 18 or 16. When we were still there, you know. Never mind the elder lecturers. They are students, newbies, us, you know, the novice, Is it the novice? Is that the right word? We are trainees. Our everyday life was, you get trained, you get cleansed by using, drinking a lot of muti in huge bucket. a huge bucket. Hey, I don't know. I think that's. I don't know how many liters the thing was. We had to drink from that thing and bring back the water they have to cleanse us. In that process, many people say, no, they're cleaning you. No, they're not cleaning you. They want to see that on the graduation day called in Ntwaso, you will be able to stand the blood of the goat, because it's life and death. So during that process of drinking and upalaza, upalaza, of course, first level, they remove everything that you came with. But you continue doing that ritual cleansing in order for your gobela to see that on that particular sacred day, you will be able to drink and bring out the blood of the goat. Because if you drink it and it goes on your tummy, not good for you. So, it was that bucket that I didn't like. And there was food. There were herbs that were used, different herbs, for different reasons, to align your spirits, to align your ancestors in order. Because your ancestors, your spirits, when they come out, they use your body. They use your eye to see. They use your tongue to speak. They use your mouth to speak. Isn't that it's a spirit that is beyond 20 years old in death that comes out. So when he comes out, he doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know how to, he speaks to you, you speak to people. So everything, he uses your body. He uses your neck to turn. He's using you to see. He doesn't know a class. I don't know about these ones who consult with the laptop, because they died without knowing these things. So your spirits are old people. They are different spirits that you say 20 years ago he died. He cannot come out as Umgun. Olwa. Can't. Impossible. That spirit comes out to become the leading spirit. It's impossible. The spirit comes as Iskosha. There are Skoshanis. I'll be teaching more about that. There are spirits that stand war. They are called Denguni spirits. There are Mandaos. They're different. Then Daos rule your abdomen going down. Then Daos are spirit of the water. The water spirits. Then the Gunis are of the forest, are of the mountains. They are different. So, my dear friends, the journey began. I started questioning myself. I'm this person who asks questions. So I'm telling you, even as a Christian today, I don't just enter, I question. I was called, yes. I was taught, yes. But I will still ask even a pastor questions. So I questioned. Oh, they have to teach me these bones. They don't teach you necessarily. I actually wanted to have this as, I wanted to have these things to show you, my friends. We are using our gobela's bones. But the bones you must read, learn. like puzzles, you must learn them. But your spirit, your ancestor, will tell you, the leading spirit or the spirit that is chosen by your own ancestors to be the one that's, because they are different. The spirits that come from you or on your body are different. So there's this one that doesn't use herbs. You know, omunye umuntu calls isithunywa a message. It's a messenger by word. English translation. If I'm translating the Zulu word isithunywa to English, I get a messenger. But no, that's not the case. I had one saying that I need to tell you, my dear, you are still teaching them. Isn't they wrong? There is no mediator between your ancestors and God. No, then already that thing is wrong. I had one of them training her own that it's a messenger. No, it's one of your spirits that does not come out to ukida akagidi uyabona. You know, that's a prophetic spirit that only comes out to tell you this, that. The spirit that later gets distorted in different forms. We are coming to that. So they tell me, no, isithunywa sizokhuluma or idlozi lakho. Any spirit of the leading spirit in you will tell you about what's happening. The bones. We are still on the bones. The bones tell different stories, because we could be 3, 1 or 2 clients telling different stories, because we observe bones in different ways and are directed differently. To me, that was like, oh, okay, I learned. I mastered the lesson. I pleased my Gobela because she trained me, right? I was happy with myself. I learned how to treat patients, right? Every patient that comes, I learned that, okay, you cannot work on any patient before you cleanse them. You know? A patient, a rich or poor, must bring in chickens, 2 of them, to be cleansed, right? Okay. A patient will have different consultations and get different answers, but every patient must start by being cleansed with the blood of a chicken, right? Depending on the consultation outcome. Sometimes their ancestors may want more, right? All right. It continued. The woman in me was disappearing every day. I was surrounded by women. So much that I began to question a lot of things. I saw a lot of people run away. And I don't know why I was usually the one who caught them running. I even tried to encourage them to stay. One of them ran away saying, I'm giving my mother clothes to go wash for me with the machine at home. I was like, I was doing exactly what my Gobela taught me. My Gobela is a no-nonsense. A hardcore trainer. Hardcore. So I was already a hardcore. So I asked this lady, hey, you, When you came in, they told you that this is your mother's house, where you will be taking things in and out so well. This is not your mother's house. Yeah, there are rules. You don't take out clothes. I was the gobela now to this one. And I could see the fear in her eyes. I had no emotions. I said, Manzini, but what you are doing is not right though. You cannot wait for our gobela to leave and do that. She was fed up. She ran. She left me there and left. Moreover, she was her own person. I continued with my work. The second one who ran was in Toughening. We were close. He was a gay. We were close because he was Zona. And he was very funny. We were being punished. There's a certain punishment we were getting. And usually we would get punishment, all of us. So Ndabeng looked at me and said, this is bullshit. Excuse my language, but I'm just trying to leave everything that was happening there. He was like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I'm not going to take all this nonsense. We don't have rights. How can somebody be stepping on our right like that? I was like, excuse me, sir. This is not your mother's place. Aksigama wakola. Kusephehlweni. I was like, where are you going? He ran away. Ndabeni had, he was that vibey person. He left because, we will also discuss on how other trainees were coming in. For me, that remained questionable. Like in Ndabeni's story, for instance. And there was this other lady. She was fat, She was fat. That was a matured lady, very matured lady. She ran away. Wakibela dustbin, yabo. She stepped on top of a rubbish bin and climbed over the wall of a neighbor at the back, and she actually hurt her knee. She injured her knee and she ran away. All three of them, I caught them. In the process of training, there were times we would go to work on homes, protecting homes, protecting the family, the workings of the family. We go with our gobela. A gobela is a gobela who's pashasha with regards to money and her things. She had her own bosses. When we go, work, come back, different homes, different families, different energies, And this one time we were going to umgidi, a ceremony, our own ancestral ceremony. For her children, like she just bought a house. I didn't know she bought a house next to my township, When we were about to pass a 10 off to my township, the bus stopped. I think it was a tie or something. And nobody inside knows where I'm coming from. And I was watching them. Like, should I run? Should I leave? Should I stop? But I'm this person who I don't like starting something and not finishing it. I feel like a failure. It's not right. It's not right. I said, no. You are not a coward. You have to face this thing till you finish it. Moreover, they said your children will die. Your family will die. You don't want your people dying now. Your man say cannot die because when are you scared? I'm standing, I'm sitting, I'll finish this thing. It was very cold. Sure. Yo, it was winter times, you know. Yo. I didn't run. I kept on. It was, imagine going inside Maponya Mall, you know. Going inside any shopping complex or shop. Sent by, you are in spirit, you are, you know. You are in a trance because pumidlos, you are possessed, you know. Because in training, they will hide things, you know. Take this glass, hide it, and call you people. Hey, Ozanla, we have to come, take out whatever is hidden. Our Gobela was not Shemsor. No, she was not the type. She would train you that when you leave, you must get what you came there for, or what she said you had. She has to prove it. So when I was there, we were being taught, you know, they'll take a needle, put it inside a potato, hide it somewhere, and call your spirits, your ancestors. Meleba vumbule IPHEHLO. You have these things in you, right? You have to train it. It must come out. Now I'm telling you the training as it goes. Yes, others, it's a source of manipulation, you say. The truth of the matter is, you individually have to align yourself with whatever is in you to bring these things out. Got used to that. Got used to my Gobela. Let's say she has a visitor and a visitor wants Nando's. You know, my Gobela was a fierce trainer because she wants you to get that. She will hide something that is in someone's mind. You know, she would hide something that is in someone's mind. Like, let's say, for heaven's sake, I visit her and say, yo, I need to buy whatever. She will hide that thing. I told her, she will call them. They will all come, the trainees. And she'll tell them, I've hidden something. You have to take it out. Whatever it is that they're hiding. They give you basics. You know? And those basics are the things that make other people question. Like me. I would question. They'll give you things, you know, like in a physical class, a physical science class, or any biology class, any class for that matter. We know it's matter, right? We know that we call things solid. We know this is solid, this is a liquid. We know that. So this thing inside this glass is called water, right? And what is water? Is liquid form. So this glass is in a solid form, right? And a thought is a thought. What is a thought? A thought is not man-made, you know. Flower is not, this is not man-made, you know. It's natural, you know. So the training goes that way. They give you basics. For me, that's where manipulation starts from. You know, because we can say lazy trainees who will only rely on guesswork. Good, so this one is a natural thing. Oh, that one is not natural. Now I have to work on finding out something that is not natural. They give you basics. The same way they give you basics of understanding a bone. Or this bone identifies a woman. This bone identifies a man. This dice, it identifies this, because there are dice there. You know, dice, they don't play for a game. There are a lot of different things. You are getting basics there. They teach you how to make certain incense. They teach you how to make, you are given basics, and your ancestors will take over. For me, the beginning of manipulation starts when you teach me bones. The beginning of manipulation starts from you giving me basics of